Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of What a Fuster Cluck. I'm your host, Lolita Keys. And on today's episode, I'm going to continue the conversation about aging gracefully, in particular, my nighttime routine. So, aging gracefully is not about pretending that we're not getting older. It's essentially about deciding how we're going to show up for ourselves as we do this thing called aging. Okay. And honestly, my nighttime routine, probably just like my daytime routine, has become one of my greatest acts of rebellion on this thing called anti aging, which I can't stand, which is, again, why I call it aging gracefully. So today I want to take you behind the scenes of the rituals, the habits, and the non-negotiables that help me maintain my age with intention, grace, and a little bit of delusion created by some good skincare products as well as some supplements. So let's start with, what do I do every night? Come hell or high water, without a doubt, one of the things I do not ever stop doing is washing my face. So if you do nothing else, remember, you must wash your face. Get all that daytime stuff, just get it out, get it off. Now, there's a few different product lines that I use religiously and that I really swear by. I've been using them for some time now, and so I'll go through some of what those things are. And I also want to remind you and point out that the younger you are, the less you do. So if you're a teenager, please calm it down with suffocating your skin with products that you just don't need at a young age. If you're in your 20s, start to bake a little bit more into your routine. Always wash your face at night, no matter how old you are, teenager or, full-blown adult, middle-aged woman, whatever. Always wash your face at night with a gentle cleanser. Nothing aggressive, nothing crazy. When you're in your 20s, you might still be dealing with some hormonal stuff, so keep that in mind and tailor your nighttime skincare routine accordingly. When you get to be in your 30s and 40s, this is when you want to ramp things up, most notably in your 40s. I highly, highly recommend, where is my trusty little tretinoin? Okay, that's the generic name for it. Is essentially a retinol. I do recommend that by the time you hit 40, some women can tolerate this a lot earlier than others. I don't know that I agree with using it in your 20s because I am a firm believer that our bodies can take something and react to it less over time the earlier we introduce it. So I would recommend maybe exploring this in your 30s if you're someone with already advanced signs of aging, wrinkles, sunspots, skin discoloration. But I don't recommend using it every day in your 30s, but talk to your dermatologist. I'm not a dermatologist, so please go by the recommendation of your dermatologist. Just remember, the earlier you start using something, the less likely you might be to notice the benefits of it later on when you might really be desperate for some change. But by the time you're 40, I do think that you should absolutely be using this. And again, some women can tolerate this every day. When I started using this, I started using it every day. And I actually found that it was a little bit too aggressive for me. And so I switched to 3 days a week. I use it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And again, you can only get this by prescription. And so please make sure that you are reaching out to your dermatologist if you are interested in a prescription for it. Let's go through the top benefits of it and what it does. Number one, it stimulates collagen production. This is major as you get older. Why? Because we start producing less collagen, just like everything else. So, que sera, sera. So this is one of those products, again, prescription strength, that will really help to stimulate that collagen production. It can help with fewer fine lines and wrinkles. It can help improve your skin's firmness, and it can give you kind of a smoother, tighter looking glow. So it really is sort of one of the best things that you can do for anti-aging. It also can help and treat acne. So it can prevent and it can help to treat acne. How does it do this? It unclogs pores, it reduces breakouts, it prevents new acne from forming, and it can fade post-acne marks a little bit more quicker. Now, again, talk to your dermatologist about that because there's also some, I forget what it's called. I think hydroquinone or something like that. It's almost like a skin lightener. I don't know that I'm a fan of that, of actually sort of like bleaching your skin. But if you really have horrible acne scars, or major sunspots, talk to your dermatologist about maybe introducing something like that temporarily into your skincare routine to help lighten those marks. What else does it do? It improves skin texture. So it accelerates the shedding of old, dead skin cells. Blech. And it promotes the growth of new and healthy cells. This can help with softer and more even textured skin. It can help with a reduction of like rough patches on your skin if you have that. And it can also help with smoother makeup application, which is always nice. And let's see, what else does this trusty product do? It brightens skin and evens skin tone, and it can minimize pore appearance. So I live in Florida where it's hot, humid, and disgusting. So your pores can look like the opening of the Lincoln Tunnel, which is not attractive. And so for me, I'm all about this to help me with that. I do use this more in the summer than I do in the winter because your skin does get more dry in the winter. So I do recommend that you sort of cycle this. Again, I use it 3 days a week right now. In the summer, I'll probably bump that up to 4, maybe 5 days a week, just depending on what my skin can tolerate. In the beginning, you do need to be careful because you are more prone to sunburn. You're also going to see some like peeling of the skin when you start using this stuff. So keep that in mind. But over the long term, you actually build up, again, that tolerance. Your skin gets more used to it. But of course, putting on a SPF, especially on your face, is going to be crucial, and wearing a hat in the sun. And then finally, it can help to prevent future sun damage. How does it do that? It does this by helping to repair photo damage at the cellular level and preventing deeper structural damage from forming. Again, you still need to wear your sunscreen. So this is what I use several nights per week, depending on the season, depending on the time of year. And I did not start using this till I was in my 40s. I'm a big proponent of trying to do whatever you can to wait until you're in your 40s to get a little bit more aggressive with your skincare routine so that you can drive those results. Now, again, if you are already noticing like really advanced lines and wrinkles and everything else, then you can introduce this in your 30s. If you're thinking of it in your 20s, I do caution you, but talk to your dermatologist about it. Okay. Next up, again, after I've washed my face, I'm going to tell you about a few product lines that I really love. One is Osmosis. I love this stuff. The lady that does my facials a few times a year is a big proponent of it. She put me onto it. Very cleanly processed, major rigor around what goes into their products and how they test them. Same thing with the next thing I'm going to show you, which is Eminence Organic Skincare. This is the little symbol. So these are my two favorite go-to product lines. Okay. I have used over the years their cleansers, their toners, all kinds of things. So what are my staples after I get out of the shower? And first things first, don't ever aggressively wipe your face dry, okay? Never aggressively do this. Why? Because you want your skin, you want your pores to be open after a hot shower. You want your skin to be damp before you're applying all of these products. And I do recommend, as well as many dermatologists, that you start thinnest to thickest. So the very first thing I do after I get out of the shower is I use a little bit of a really light glycolic acid toner. I will put that in the show notes because I don't have it in front of me. I use that, highly rated on the Yuka app, and I get it off of Amazon. I use that on a little cotton swab and I just gently wipe it across my face. Why do I use this toner at night? Because I really want to make sure that I'm getting the makeup off that didn't come off when I washed my face. In the shower, I use a gentle cleanser. It's kind of like a gel cleanser. And I use that to get the makeup off. And then a few times a week, I'll use an enzyme cleanser. Why? Because I want to make sure that I'm getting those dead skin cells off of my face. Then I use this product called Osmosis Stem Factor. That is the first thing I put on my face after the toner. It's very thin. And this is it's great for repair. So when I was going through major skin issues, when I was having some stomach problems several years ago, it was showing up all over my face in these really red, disgusting, horrible dry patches. And Stem Factor really helped to kind of calm that down. The next thing I go to is hyaluronic acid. Okay. Again, this is another Eminence product. So I put that on next and I just wait like maybe 60 seconds in between each one of these things to give it a little bit of a chance to absorb. Again, thinnest to thickest. And so I use the hyaluronic acid because it's incredibly hydrating and I want my skin to be hydrated, especially before I go to sleep at night. Very, very important to me. And then I finish it off with, right now, I'm using Monoi Age Corrective Night Cream for face and neck. This is a stem cell complex. And so I really rotate between several night creams, and it really depends on the time of year. So now that it's winter time, I do like to use a thicker, more dense, more densely like moisturizing facial cream because again, it's winter, your skin is going to become a little bit more dry. And then in the summer, I'll use something like a little bit lighter. So those are my go-to products at night. All right. So I start out with the stem factor. Then I use the hyaluronic serum. Now, on the days that I'm using the tretinoin, which is the retinoid, on the days that I'm using that, okay, I do mix it with a little bit of the hyaluronic serum. So I do that because it spreads nicer. You'll notice with this stuff, if you do get the generic version, you'll notice it spreads a little bit funky. So I just mix it with something like really smooth and kind of watery based, and then I apply it. Right now, I'm using this one by Skin Medica. It's called Hydra Collagen. This is what it looks like. Whee! So I only use this when I use the retinol or the retinoid. I do not use this every day, but it just helps with the application and spreads it on a little bit nicer. I do wait a few more minutes in between that and putting on my face cream, but that is the order. Face wash, get all the makeup off. Toner, do that. Remember, this is skincare for your 40s, not skincare for your 20s. Face wash, enzyme cleaner a few times a week, the days that I'm not using the retinoid. Then I go to the toner gently across my face. You're not like aggressively like rubbing this all over your face, okay? Then thinnest to thickest. Start with the stem factor. Maybe you don't need the stem factor because you don't have any problems that you're trying to chill or calm down. So if that's the case, go immediately to your hyaluronic acid. Acid is in the word, so it sounds aggressive, but trust me, ladies, it's not. It's actually very, very moisturizing. And gentlemen who might be listening to this on the low. And then a couple days a week or more, depending on the season, I use my retinol and I mix it with my little trusty Hydra Collagen for a smoother application and more moisturization support to help with that irritation you get from the retinoid. And then I finish with my night cream. Now, some people say it doesn't matter if it says day cream or night cream. I totally disagree. When you're using a really quality product, go by whether it says day or night because typically a night cream is going to be a lot more moisturizing. So stick with that. Okay. Do not try to use a day cream on your skin at night. Now, I know some of you will look this stuff up and you'll be like, oh my God, Lauren, this stuff costs like a small fortune. Okay. Again, typically when you're in your 40s, hopefully you're in a better place in life. You got a little bit more money to treat yourself because remember, you got to treat yourself sometimes. And let me also say that everything I buy is such a great quality that it is highly, highly concentrated. I can tell you from experience purchasing some of those like cheaper, less likely to work over the counter products, Neutrogena. Okay, I'm not going to crap all over every Neutrogena product, but a lot of them are not good in my humble opinion. But like Oil of Olay, Revlon, CoverGirl, no. Okay. Use the Yuka app, scan everything, scan it all. Don't waste your money on something that doesn't have a high rating on that app. Trust me, you will thank me later because if you are spending your money on it and it's not working for you, it's not doing anything for you, you are flushing your money down the proverbial toilet. Okay. So, very, very concentrated. I want to stress that. So yes, don't be perturbed by the price tag. This other psycho thing that I do, if you listen to my podcast on my anxiety and stuff, I'm very like ADHD and also OCD. So I'm this amazing combination of the perfect storm of a woman. But I used to do this thing, I still do this thing, where I would actually write down the date that I open a product. yes. Like, why do I do that? Because I'm very, very cautious about the amount of money that I spend and I want my investments to go a long way. And so I started writing down the date that I opened it so that I would know. This was before you could subscribe and save. That's how long I've been doing this. But I would figure out on some average before Amazon could tell me how often I'm ordering something. I would figure out how long is this lasting me. I can tell you that a bottle of this stem factor, you need like a pea size amount and it goes all over your face. Same with the hyaluronic serum, if it's a high quality hyaluronic serum. Same with the Eminence Organic Night Cream that I told you about. This stuff is so concentrated. The littlest bit will literally go all over your face. Okay. So you can have these products and buy them once a year. I kid you not, once a year or very close to that, even 10 months. So think about that when you're purchasing this stuff. Yes, the price tag might look a little bit crazy, but in the long run, you're going to be spending the same amount of money you would spend on that cheaper store brand stuff that you have to like slather on just to feel the results from. Okay. So please invest in your skin. Otherwise, just don't do anything. You are so much better off letting your skin do its own thing. And remember, it's more important what you put in your body than what you put on your body. And you're like, well, Lauren, if that's the truth, why the hell are you putting 80,000 things on your face at night? It's really not. It's like 3 or 4 things. Okay. Don't be aggressive. Calm it down, Blanche. But it is more important what you put in your body than what you put on your body. However, you do sometimes, in my case, need the support of putting stuff on your body because it will help accelerate what you are doing inside of your body. It will help accelerate that on the outside when you're using good products. But if you're not using good products, stop wasting your money. Just wash your face with a little bit of water, pat dry, or just let that sucker air dry. Like I said, don't ever aggressively dry your face or your neck. And just don't use anything. I would rather you schlap coconut oil all over your face than use a crappy garbage CoverGirl or Revlon product that is poorly rated on the Yuka app because trust me, again, it's not doing anything for your skin. Now, it's better what you put in your body than what you put on your body. So let's talk about a few things that I also take every night. Now I'm going to do another episode of this and we'll talk about my morning routine and I'm going to highlight some of those frequency products that I've been telling you guys about. FREQUENSE. Email me whataflusterclucklk@gmail.com if you have any questions about any of these products or you want to know more about the frequency gem that I'm going to wait to share with you on the episode when I do my morning routine. They have a supplement that is bonkers good for anti-aging. But okay, what do I do at night? At night, I make sure that I always take a very good, high quality vitamin C supplement, and that I also take a very good quality probiotic, and that I also take a very good quality omega. Now, what are the benefits of omegas for your skin? Okay, I'm going to give you 5. 1, reduces inflammation. 2, strengthens the skin barrier. 3, it helps regulate oil production. 4, it protects against sun-induced damage. Florida, hello. Or maybe you were a tanning bed girl, okay? And 5, it can improve the overall texture and elasticity of your skin. These are just the skin benefits, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do another episode, many episodes on supplements. And in those episodes, we'll do a deeper dive about how they can help your overall health. Omega is one of my non-negotiables. If you take no supplements besides maybe 5, omegas are one of my top 5 that you must be taking go-to supplement. Vitamin D plus K2 is another one. Episode for another day. I don't want to get carried away. All right. What are the benefits of vitamin C for your skin? Here's another 5. Ready? Number 1, boosts collagen production. Number 2, brightens the complexion. Number 3, protects against free radicals. Number 4, helps support wound healing. A little bonus. Number 5, enhances sunscreen protection. How crazy is that? When you take vitamin C internally and use it on your face, that's another thing. I'll save that for my morning routine. It can actually help your body handle UV exposure more effectively. Isn't that fantastic? Doesn't that like blow your mind? So high quality, I will again put in the show notes what I am using. There are several supplement brands that I really swear by. Pure Encapsulations is one. I think Life Science is another one. Now, NOW, some of their stuff is good. run all of this stuff through the Supco app that I've talked about on other episodes. Scroll through my episode library. I can't believe how many episodes I have. Scroll through those episodes, look for some other Aging Gracefully episodes or some of the other health and wellness stuff that I've talked about. And you can hear about some of the other supplement brands that I really, really am a huge proponent of for the way that they vigorously test and the quality of their supplements. Whenever you're taking vitamin C, please do not get like a Bobo over the counter vitamin C. Again, if you are not using Yucca or Supco to rate what you are putting in and on your body, you just don't know what you are ingesting or what you are applying. Okay. You don't know how well it's been tested. You don't know what type of third party supervision. You don't know what's really in it. And you don't know if your body is absorbing it. So, Pure Encapsulations and Life Science both make really good vitamin C's. But you can also there's plenty of other brands out there that are a little bit more affordable. Try to look for ones that are liposomal. This means that your body will use them more efficiently. They're more absorbable when they're liposomal. That's a science lesson for another day. Ask ChatGPT or Google that if you think I'm lying, but I ain't lying. So check that out. Liposomal supplements and methylated supplements, as you've heard me say, are definitely go-tos in my routine. So how does omega-3 and vitamin C work together? So they work together to reduce inflammation and strengthen the skin's moisture barrier. So vitamin C supports repair and collagen production, and together they can help your skin look calmer, brighter, firmer, and more hydrated. There you go. There's my commercial for vitamin C and for omega. The other one that I mentioned is a good probiotic. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I've said the apps already. You don't need to hear me say them another 1,000 times. But get a good probiotic. I'm going to plug Just Thrive because that is the one that I take. Their probiotics have gone through a lot of really amazing testing. You'll also hear many of the health and wellness people that I follow are huge proponents of that particular line of probiotic. It all starts in the gut, boys and girls. It all starts in the belly. So your immunity, how your skin looks, how your hair looks, everything. If your gut is shot to hell, everything else is going to be shot to hell as well. Trust and believe. And so taking a really high quality probiotic, typically after your heaviest meal of the day, is a great way to go to help with your skin, your aging gracefully, your health and wellness. And let's see, the Frequence products that I talk about that I full disclosure, I do sell those. So again, whatafusterclucklk@gmail.com. Email me for more information on Frequence. I take a supplement. I'm going to save that for my morning routine, like I said, but there's another one called Source, which is your 72 trace minerals plus something called black fulvic, which is a very gentle detox. It's a binder. So it goes into the body, goes into the system. It looks for all the nasties that you don't want in there. It binds to them. And over time, it helps to slowly draw them out of your body so that, again, over time, your gut health is like much healthier. So couple that with a probiotic, boom, you are so golden. All right, let me make sure I haven't missed anything on my Aging Gracefully nighttime routine. We talked about the supplements I take at night after dinner. We talked about the products that I use. We talked about the do's and don'ts of washing your face. Don't go to sleep immediately after slapping all this stuff on your skin, ladies and gentlemen, because you do want to give it some time to absorb. Otherwise, it'll just end up all over your pillow. Yuck. And you're not going to be paying all that money for high quality products. And then they're just like goners when you go to bed at night. So let's see. Yeah, I think I covered everything that I wanted to go through with you all. So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I love talking about this stuff. I totally geek out on it. And, you know, I just want to say I've had some people reach out to me and I want to say thank you to everybody who reaches out to me with feedback about the show, questions, comments, praise, like whatever it is, even constructive criticism. I've gotten it all at this point and I really welcome it. I totally appreciate it. I can't grow without you guys talking to me and telling me what you're liking, what you're hating, what you want more of, what you don't. And one of the things I'll say is that I have had some people say to me, well, Lauren, your skin looks great. Like, maybe I'm just not that lucky. And, I could react to this two ways. I could get really pissed off because I know what I do for my skin. Or I could answer them truthfully and honestly, which is what I'm trying to do, and gracefully, and say, I'm not lucky, you guys. I'm not lucky. I am diligent. This is a message that you will hear me say over and over again. Consistency is key. You are never too old to take better care of yourself. So don't look at me and think, well, Lauren, you've been doing this stuff. You've known about this stuff for so long. You've been conscious of this stuff literally since you were a teenager. You have followed this stuff, read about this stuff, obsessed over this stuff, gone down every rabbit hole on this stuff since you were so young. You're so much further ahead of me. No, that I'm going to tell you straight up, that's a loser attitude. And you need to put the kibosh on that ASAP. It's never too late in your life to do anything new. Never, never, ever. Okay. If you want to change the way you eat, if you want to change the way you exercise, if you want to start exercising, if you want to get out of a bad relationship, if you want to get into a good one, if you want to change jobs, if you want to go back to school, if you want to spruce up your nighttime routine with your health care and your face care, it's never too late. Even if you are really struggling with the way that you look right now and you feel like, gosh, I just don't know where to start. I could be doing so much better than I am. I want to look better than I look right now. What can I do? It is never too late. Reach out to me, whatafusterclucklk@gmail.com, or go to your dermatologist or talk to your friends. I will tell you, there are some women who just genetically age better than others. Yes, ladies, they are out there. They do exist. We all hate them, but we love them because we have to be friends with them because they're a part of society too, but we secretly hate them. And don't look at me like I'm one of those women, okay? I am not. I have put in a ridiculous and diligent amount of effort, even when my kids were born and I was an exhausted mom. Please listen to my anxiety podcast so that you can see just how absolutely crazy I really was. You've heard me talk about my struggles with insomnia, all these things. It didn't matter how exhausted I was. My non-negotiables were always, girl, take care of your skin, wash your face, and you better freaking brush and floss those teeth. Episode for another day. But I should put that in my nighttime routine, right? Because hello, you don't want your teeth to fall out. So let's add that. Let's throw that in as a little last minute bonus before I close out this episode. If you are not brushing and flossing your teeth, girl, guys, you need to do that because halitosis is a real thing. I worked in dentistry for many, many years, okay, before I started podcasting and project managing and relationship managing and all the other stuff I'm doing now. I worked in dentistry for many years, so I'm a huge proponent. You must brush, you must floss. You know, throw a water pick in there if you really want to get wild, right? Get some mouthwash if you really want to have a party. Do what you got to do, but take care of your health. It is literally all you have. It is all you have. Without your health, what are you, right? You are living in chronic struggle. And as someone who I've told you suffered from migraines, insomnia, anxiety, my newest thing that I'm trying to get over right now, my chronic urticaria that I'm trying to get past, all stress related, right? And I know how much happier I am, how much better I feel because I never gave up on myself. I still to this day will not give up on myself. Your health is crucial. Take care of yourself. Consistency is key. It is never too late to change something in your routine to start to look and feel better. Ladies, gents, we're never going to look like we did when we were in our 20s. And honestly, I don't want to. I think that would be kind of creepy, right? I'm not trying to walk around as this 45-year-old woman looking like I'm 22. I mean, that would be stellar if it was natural, but I'm not trying to look like that in like this uber fake, awkward, like anime, porn star looking thing. Like it's just not what I'm going for. I'm a middle-aged mama and I feel very, very good about myself at this point in my life. I'm working real hard, trying to be super diligent. And I'm here to help you if you need that help, if you need that guidance. Maybe you're someone who wants to rip the Band-Aid off and do all the things I just told you about. Maybe you're someone who wants to take it step by step and you're like, Lauren, what do I do first? Wash your face. Wash your face before you go to bed at night. Get a really good moisturizer and maybe a hyaluronic serum and start with just that. But remember to rate it in Yuka and Sepco. Boop. They're not paying me for this, you guys. I need to start like getting paid for some of these advertisers. Somebody help me. What do I do? Who do I reach out to? All right. That'll do it for this episode of What a Fuster Cluck, another one of my Aging Gracefully series. So I hope you all enjoyed. Please, please, please never forget, follow the show, subscribe to the show, like the show. More importantly, share the show, share this episode if it really resonated with you, if you learned something. or share it with someone who you think could use a little boost in the nighttime routine and the Aging Gracefully series. And reach out to me with any questions you have. What a Fuster Cluck, available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Love you all so much. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Have a great week.